Good afternoon, everyone. It is Wednesday at noon, so Kim Swann and I are joining you to talk a little bit more about real estate and mortgages. We have had some technical difficulties today with a laptop that crashed, so we're having to do it on our phone, so you're only going to get to see one of us at a time, which is probably better for you anyway. But one of the things that you have heard us talk about over the past few months is the tight inventory that we have here in Morristown right now. Homes that are in the price range of 140 to 175 to 200,000 are just going under contract very quickly right now. So what we thought we would talk to you today about is an option that may allow you to buy a home that is going to need some improvements, but that, with the extra money you can get through an FHA 203K loan, you would be able to customize and personalize that house to make it into the dream home that you're looking for. So one of the examples that I pulled off the MLS is a home that's kind of up on the east end of town, and it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath brick house. It has a basement. It's 2,000 square feet on the main level, and then it has about 1,100 square foot basement unfinished. And it's on the market right now for $149,900. And this particular home is an estate. So typically when you see that, you know that it's an older house and it's probably not had any updates since about the 70s or 80s. So this particular house, I went through and looked at the pictures and stuff, and it needs some, cosmetic updates inside. It probably needs like carpet. You're going to want to paint. The kitchen needs updating. Bathrooms need updating. So Kim is going to get on here and talk to you in depth about the FHA 203K loan and what that will allow you to do. So I'm going to turn the phone over to her now and let her do this, and want to say thank you to everyone that's watching. We always appreciate that, and if y'all have comments, please leave them for us. So I'm going to turn it over to Kim now. Here you go.
Awesome. Thank you, Amy. And again, y'all, I'm sorry about our technical difficulties today, but hopefully we'll get that laptop back up running in a few minutes. But anyway, she's mentioned the 203K, and just to kind of let you know how that does work, basically it allows you to do upgrades and things after you purchase the home, where you can, buy the home as it sits. And basically what we do is we get an appraisal based on what all you want to have done. So that means that appraised value is going to come in a lot more than what you're paying for it, once everything's done. But basically we can do that as an FHA loan. Down payment, it's 3.5% like a regular FHA. So the minimum down payment is 3.5% of the sales price. Sometimes I tell people on these you might need about 5% of the sales price because there are a few more additional fees. But basically, again, it allows you to purchase the home, and then after you've purchased the home, it gives you that additional funds to where you can do those upgrades. Basically, any upgrades can be done except for anything that they call recreational or luxury. So
does that mean I can't put a wet bar in?
No wet bar, no swimming pools, can't finance those things, but basically everything else can be done from, like she says, from appliances to carpet, flooring, paint, anything like that can be done for those. The work does have to be done by general contractor, so they won't allow you personally to do the work yourself, so it does have to be done by general contractor. And depending on the program, some you can do, some gives you, 90 days to get things done, and if it's a more detailed job, then you can go up to like 6 months to get all that work done for that. And they will do inspections through the process, so if you do have that general contractor, kind of helps to keep them in line to make sure they are doing what they say they're going to do, and as you're spending that money, that you're to where what's being spent out is what work has been done. So we also offer a conventional rehab loan that we can do, and it can be used on investment property or even second homes. So if you found something on the lake and you wanted to remodel it and it was going to be a second home, we do have an option on that program as well.
Is there a dollar cap on the FHA? Like how much, if I'm buying a $150,000 house, how much additional
Okay.
would you allow us to borrow?
There's two FHA 203K loans, and there's one that we call a streamline. Now it is capped at $35,000, but the other one that's just what we call the traditional 203K, there is no limit on the amount of money that you can get for the upgrades and repairs.
So if I bought a $150,000 house, theoretically, I could do $100,000 in repairs.
Yes.
If I qualified for that total
If you
amount.
qualify for the total, which would be like a $250 loan amount, as long as you qualify for that, yes. And then the other thing, of course, is the property's got to appraise.
Right.
Again, like I said, the appraisal is done subject to. So basically, what's required is that you get us, copies of the plans and specs for your upgrades, improvements, a list of the costs, and then that's sent to the appraiser. And then, of course, he's going to base again his appraisal on the finished work, what the finished home would be.
Okay. What about the conventional loan you were talking about? Mm-hmm. What is your dollar limits on it for upgrades?
It doesn't have any minimum or maximum amounts on it as well.
Well, that's good.
And people may say, well, conventionals have a little bit larger down payment. You may say, why would I want a conventional versus an FHA? The main reason you would look at conventional would be potentially that you could have the mortgage insurance come off of that loan. Where an FHA loan, the mortgage insurance stays on there for the life of the loan, but with a conventional, it will come off after you reach that 80% value.
Okay. Are there any credit score requirements on those types of loans?
Minimum of a 620 credit score for these type of loans.
On either the conventional or the FHA?
Conventional or FHA either.
All right.
Yes.
Good information.
It's a great loan, and like you said, it's sometimes a remodel process can be stressful, but in the market we're in, where there's not a lot of homes, and again, you may find a home in a location that you want to be in, but it's an older, dated home, so this does allow you to purchase those and be able to go in and do those upgrades.
Good information. One last question for you.
Okay.
On an FHA, I know that gift funds are allowed for a down payment. Mm-hmm. Would they still be allowed on these types of programs?
No, that's the big difference between this one and just a regular FHA purchase. The gift funds are not allowed, so the down payment would have to be their own source of funds, which that can come, if you have a 401k, you can do a loan against a 401k, you can borrow against a 401k, checking, savings, anything like that can be used as your source for down payment.
But if they borrow from the 401k, you've got to put that payment in.
Actually, you don't. You do not. No, because you're borrowing your own money. So therefore, at any point in time, you could just pay that off. So a 401k loan does not go into the debt to income ratios.
Very good information. Very good information.
Okay.
All right. So that would be, possibly a great option for you. Like I said, if you're looking for a house and it seems like every time one goes on the market, you're at work, and by the time you get off from work and have talked to your spouse and can schedule a showing, it's already under contract. It is a good option. I have worked with a buyer before who did a 203K, and personally I was like, great, this is probably going to be a nightmare, but it was a very smooth process. Really wasn't any different than any other type of purchase that I've done. So, definitely keep that in mind if you find yourself struggling to find a house that, doesn't need a ton of work, but that just needs some cosmetic updates. This would be something that you might want to look into. So, next week we should be broadcasting to you from a house out on Cherokee Lake. And so we're going to talk to you a little bit about second homes, vacation homes, and things like that. If you have a particular topic you would like to see us talk about, please send me a message or leave a comment in the video. Would love to, reach out and talk to you a little bit more off of Facebook if you're interested in buying a home. So we will be back with you next Wednesday at noon, and thanks so much for watching. Say bye, Kim.
Bye. Thank you all.